what do you rank? What's the motherfucking deal, man? Welcome to Salt Sports. If you're not familiar with Salt Sports, the Houston, Texas Homer Network means we're talking all sports, but only Houston. Apologize for the delay, a little bit of a technical difficulty twice, because at one point I thought we were streaming, and I was talking like an asshole, and we were not even live. So I thank you for being here. A lot of stuff to talk about, right? A lot of stuff to discuss going on in the city. But before we get into any of that shit, we got two gentlemen from the round getting down with us tonight, man. Who do we have in the mix tonight?
You got your boy Hector Flores, aka Mr. South Sports TV. Even though that's we're all together now into this, but basically, it's your boy that covers the Astros and Dynamo for you guys. So I think it's my return to South Sports. Honestly, I haven't done a live stream in a while. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, on the side. Yeah, it is. Okay, damn. All right. Who else we got in the mix tonight?
And Third Coast Sports TV, when you're building once again. I know what it is. Let's have another great show.
Absolutely. Already, man. So like I say, let's see what we got jumping in the mix with us tonight. There's a lot going on in the city. Like I say, a lot to cover. Might not be enough time to cover it all, but we're going to get to it. Man, Jabari, what's the motherfucking deal? Houston, Texas, talk football at 503 King Jaja. It's your boy Roman. Eastside Herald. What's the motherfucking deal? Eastside, by there. I got to chop it up by the Eastside. I ain't chopped it up with a bit of purple's right. Football at 503. Let me see King Jaja. Anybody else? If I missed you, I ain't this you can't 2K. What's the motherfucking deal? Man. It's a good time in Houston right now, I would say. Rockets 2-0. You got Astros winning. Football coming up. We all know the NFL is king. It is what it is. But I kind of want to get into let's start off talking about what's actually happening. We'll get to the hypothetical. We know y'all want to talk to. We're gonna string y'all along for a little bit. I know y'all want the Texans talk. And y'all finna wait for that shit. But no, let's talk about what's actually happening. And then we'll get into what's going on with the Texans and kind of looking at a couple of opponents and what's happening with some of the other opponents too. I think is going to be very interesting. But let's start off with the Rockets. That's the latest, greatest, last thing that just happened. Rockets just went in and had a bit of a game against their old friend Chris Paul, right? And let's be honest, James Harden had a terrible game. It was not good. Took some questionable shots. What was it, like 1 for 10 from three? Something crazy like that. It was something wild. And I think I dropped like 21. But they came out 111 over 98 over Oklahoma City.
Man, how crazy do you think does that sound? You had a bad game but still dropped 20.
That's crazy. Like, he had a good game and nobody talked. Like, people, so that was funny because Perk had mentioned the other day, like, when James dropped with like 37-11 in the first game, it's like nobody said nothing. Nobody has nothing to say. They rather talk about Paul George icing his shoulder, looking like a fucking bum and shit like that. Like the hype that they give Paul, like somebody said, and I agree that the hype that they give Paul George, like especially in the playoffs and shit, that's really James. Like so the way they be blowing him up, the way they blow Paul George up as this guy, like especially over the last few years since he's come from Indiana, like I don't see it. Like what has he done to take any team really to that next level since he's left Indiana?
I would even say Indiana's looked better without him.
Yeah, when Oladipo started balling, yeah, come on, man. Like I would agree. So it's like I think Paul George is he may be like a hype machine or something. I don't know what it is about. Maybe he's just I don't know. I don't trust niggas with two first names, so that's the thing. But like I say, so 2-0. Not too many teams can say that, especially in this playoffs right here. It's a weird playoffs. A lot of weird shit going on. But the crazy thing about it is that the Rockets have done this with no Russell Westbrook, right? And appreciate the love, King Jaja. Hart was locked up by undrafted rookie. Yeah, shit happens. But like I say, there was also a lot of real questionable calls going on in that game. Like, I'm not a type of person that likes to blame the refs for much. So, like, I give them credit because they didn't let the refs do them in and they still got the win. So, it was real good to see, like I say, like House was hooping. PJ Tucker, motherfucker. PJ Tucker, aside from Harden, might be my favorite Rocket, dog. Like, just because of what he does, like what we used to think the Chuck Wagon was. That's who PJ Tucker is. Like the shit that we used to think that fucking he used to be is really what like Tucker is, you know. So that's my thing. But it was interesting. Like, do you feel like the Rockets are going to end this series if they were able to win these 2 games with no Westbrook? And I don't know if he's going to be available for Game 3. Are you expecting a sweep in this series? Do you think Oklahoma gets 1 or 2? Like, because technically these were the Rockets' home games, you know, with their little virtual crowd and all that. But do you think that the Thunder come away with 1?
I think with the way this format is, there's no real home court advantage. I guess if you wanted to give a team home court, it's Orlando, but not really. I mean, it's not their actual court. You know, this is all done in Disney World. But no, I mean, it's kind of interesting just to see how it is. I think the NBA has done a really good job with kind of running this thing. I mean, you know, I haven't heard many real issues aside from just players trying to get out of there for wings at a strip club, or apparently 7 blanks of heaven. But I mean,
it was the chick. That was a Caucasian chick that did that, right? That because
I don't know.
Or something?
I mean, she gave me like Kardashian vibes, whatever the Kardashians are.
Yeah, she's probably a chick that says Cox. She's one of those chicks that says cock. So she took 7 cocks of heaven, you know. It's different. Like this may be a thing. I know y'all be like, this ain't the damn Honcho. Don't go there. Different races of women describe the penis differently. Like they'll use different terms. Like this is a thing. Okay, I've had a little experience. You know, I've been around a little bit. They do. It's a real fucking thing. So if she had it, it was probably 7 cocks there. But I'm sorry about interrupting. When you said blank, you left it open. I had to take the opportunity.
Nah, go for it. But I mean, I think that the NBA has done a pretty good job. But aside from that, I really don't think that the home court actually really means anything. I mean, the seating's great. I mean, I guess, but I think it's just, you know, it's a wide open tournament for me. I think the way the Rockets have been playing. I mean, the fact that they kind of had that next man up mentality going into this just shows that kind of what you and me were talking about, you know, back in the South Sports TV days about that. I think that the group that they got around James Harden and Russell Westbrook is significantly better. I don't think people talk about Covington enough. So I mean, like, I think that these guys are showing that like maybe this is a little bit different of a team than what Harden's usually had around him. So I think that that's going to be a big thing going into this. And I mean, if they keep playing like this, honestly, I'll tell you right now, I didn't even think Oklahoma was even going to be in the playoff discussion before the season started. Yeah. So, I mean, I still don't firmly believe that, you know, OKC is there yet. Yeah. But, I mean, I think, you know, this is a good time to test out how deep your roster really is with the Rockets. And, I mean, you got to be happy right now for them being able to do what they're doing right now without Russell Westbrook. And then obviously having, I guess, a subpar game for James Harden, even though, I mean, I'm pretty sure anybody would take 20 points and call that a bad day for them. But, no, I think the Rockets have looked really good. They've honestly looked very solid throughout this whole I guess, restart for the season. So, I mean, you know, it just shows, like, what's the importance of being in good form throughout the whole thing, how that's very important, especially when you go into the playoffs.
And I think I got to give credit to James Harden for that, because he was, as the leader of this team, I mean, even during the quote-unquote pandemic, whatever you want to call it, like, you saw all kind of shit. You saw him drop 20 pounds. You saw him, you know, working out. You saw him doing things like not taking any days off. You saw him, but it's like the rest of the team seems to have fed off it, because you saw him taking these guys places with him. Even in the offseason, I think they went to Trinidad or something like that, and they'd be out there running and doing things. And I remember it was some kids down there trying to get some water or something. He gave them a bunch of money. Like, I think James, like, this is what bothers me about Houston, like the city. Like I said, we pick and choose. Like, and then his I don't already know what y'all finna say. Here comes the JJ Watt hate. No, but you got a guy like James Harden, honestly, who has been in his respective sport more relevant than JJ. And you could say, well, you had 3 defensive player of the years. I respect that and I get that. But James Harden has been in the fucking MVP conversation almost since he's been a Rocket.
He got
I mean,
MVPs.
Yeah, he should have multiple.
But to
Defense
put it
is
like
stepped
this,
up.
though, with Justin James Watt,
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna sit here and say that he's the best sack, a player to get sacks in the history of the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you look at James Hart, you literally look at him, you're like, this is the best scorer I've ever seen.
Yeah.
A lot of people have said that. You're talking about old heads that are saying this. That I've never seen a guy that can score like James Harden. James Harden is the best. Yeah, I mean, it comes with it, man. If you're one of the top players in whatever sport you play in, you're gonna have people that praise you, and you're gonna have people that hate you. And I mean, people just see James, the fact that he doesn't have the accolades that I guess you would want for. Because I'm not saying best player, but I'm saying best scorer. Yeah. Those different things. I'm not saying he's not a great player or anything like that, but I'm saying he's the best scorer that anyone's ever seen. And I'm even throwing that over Steph Curry, because I mean, all that dude can do is just shoot a 3-pointer, where Harden can do it all for you.
Exactly. And then look what Steph has had around him for his chip. Steph has been in the league a long time. But until those pieces. Appreciate the love. You text talk say James Harden is over LeBron any day. Yeah, I'll take him over LeBron any day, because you're not going to get the passive aggressive bullshit that comes with LeBron. Like, this is why, when that whole Houston conversation was coming, that was one of the things that I was against LeBron coming for, because of the media circus that happens, and then he's like weirdly passive aggressive. Like, it's like, man,
I mean, there's that, but it's also the fact that LeBron's gonna try to change things up with the team, and it could be for good things, but also you've seen the track record of when LeBron leaves the teams, and they usually don't stay afloat, if you get what I mean. I mean, you look at the Miami Heat, they never were the same after he left. You look at Cleveland, I mean, they've never been the same twice, both times that he left. Yeah. And I mean, I'll say that, especially because I mean, obviously everybody knows in the South knows I'm a Lakers fan, but I mean, I was one of those people I was actually fine with building from the young core, the whole Lonzo, Ingram, all that, letting them develop and kind of work their way up. But then obviously LeBron came in, and obviously LeBron doesn't like young players, so he had to get rid of them. So I mean, so there's a contrast with me with LeBron James. I know LeBron James is going to go down as one of the greatest to ever play the game, but I mean, would I have preferred him not go to the Lakers? I'd probably say I would, but also I'm not hating the fact that we do have LeBron James, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think you hate that fact, period, but you don't like some of the baggage that comes with him.
Yeah.
Fans really have nothing to complain about, because, I mean, he's having another MVP season. You know what I'm saying? He has his team deep in the playoffs. You have the best record. I don't really think it's really much to complain about when he's able to, when the team is having success the way that they're having. Yep. Now, it's going to look different if they had all of that and they get bounced in the first rounds. Then people are really going to have a whole lot of shit to say, because this will be the first time that he's been in the playoffs that he potentially could get bounced. And what does that say about him being in the West? But he is one of those players, I feel like, unless he went to the right team and if they weren't stacked up the right way, I don't feel he would be in the East. And I honestly believe if the Rockets were to have faced off against the Lakers, especially at this point, even after everything is done, I really think this really believe this would be an even time that it seems like we're having against OKC. I mean, it just outside of them having the bigs, but their offensive rebounding has not been good during the series. They're not capitalizing on shots. They don't have any perimeter shooters. I mean, what, you think you're gonna drive the ball the whole goddamn game, and you can't hit free throws?
And see, that's where I'm coming with the Lakers. I mean,
right.
The fact is, small ball is gonna take over. That's what's gonna happen. The center position is gonna become obsolete. Honcho, you've heard me say that multiple times at this point. They're gonna just be a rebounder. Yeah. That's all they're gonna be able to do for the team. But it's all gonna be about 3-point shooting. That's all you're seeing the younger players doing now these days. Is just, if you can't shoot a three, then what's your worth at this point? So, I mean, what's killing the Lakers is they're playing that old school basketball, which is like going into the paint. And when they are behind, they're forced to try to jack as many threes as they can, but they don't have the efficient 3-point shooting. And obviously with Daryl Morey, one of the things that he's been doing his whole time as the general manager for the Rockets has been looking for guys that have good 3-point statistics. And I mean, it's paying off for them. even though they can do it, that's another team that can do it all. They can go in the paint as well, just as much as they can shoot a 3-pointer.
Right.
But that was kind of what I'm saying with that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree in a sense, but the thing is, even playing in the paint, trying to shoot from 20 and beyond on this team, it's just not going to be a good look. Not that guys aren't going to be able to hit the shots, but you don't have shooters. Even though I love LeBron James, but has he had seasons where his jumper and his three has been good, like the 2013 season? Yeah, he's had those seasons. And while he's one of the best players in the league, it's still some pieces to his game that, leave a little bit to be desired. And his 3-point shooting, on top of the way that he's performing in the playoffs, with these mid free throws and the overall field goal percentage of this basketball team, it's just not looking good for them. And if they get swept in the first round, or not even the sweep, but if they just lose the series, I won't be surprised, because I feel like it's a year too early for the Lakers. I feel like in a couple of instances when LeBron has went back and he's went to certain teams, and it's just like, okay, it was a year early when he first went to Miami. Then they win it the next 2 years, but they go, the next, like 4, straight, on top of any team that he's on top of, when he's switched his teams, he goes back to Cleveland. I want to say he wins right out of the gate, or he wins the very next season. Either way, it's the same type of instance where you have to really give it time, it seems like the same kind of characters, he ends up having on the team. And not that he doesn't make players better, but are they so much better to where you're winning more championships? We clearly can't say that because the numbers aren't tipping the scale in that way. But as far as the Rockets go, man, what you were saying as far as the accolades, like, fucking James Harden has been in the MVP conversation at least 3 times. Yeah. The year that Steph gets hurt, he was supposed to be the MVP that season. He won an MVP. Yeah. He's winning scoring titles, which would be the essential of what a player. That's essentially like the offensive player of the year.
Yeah, basically, he won 3 of those straight. This the third one in a row. Yeah.
Yeah. So on top of being able to get to the championship game in the West. Yeah. I mean, can you really say that any other organization is doing that besides the Astros right now? No. So it's just one of those things where team building, they're pouring in the right money to get the right resources so that they can bring a championship back to Houston. This is the year, man, that they could very well bring it back, because I feel like if a couple of teams in the West get knocked out, whoever we face in the West, whether it's Giannis, and I hope Giannis makes it, but I doubt they do. Yeah. But I swear, if they end up making it, we can go ahead and close that argument once and for all. And about is he better than Harden? We don't even have to worry about that anymore, because when it's time, and I see that game, I see that series as a clear sweep. They're just not ready. I don't believe so. Maybe I'm not giving them some of that. Maybe I'm missing something when it comes to the Bucks, but they don't pose any real threat. Let's just be real. The only relevancy they have is because they play in the East. The East has not been good really since the 90s. I mean, you've had portions in the early 2000s where you could say they've had some good teams like the Pacers. They had
Pistons for a little bit.
Detroit was good for a while. Then they fell off. The Bulls haven't been. I mean, the Bulls were good, a few years ago.
Derrick Rose dying hurt them because they had.
Honestly, coming from the East, man, I don't even see the Bucks actually making it to the finals. I mean, the way the Raptors have been playing, I mean, they look pretty solid.
Yeah,
I wouldn't sleep on the Celtics. I mean, shoot, if Ben Simmons can figure out how to shoot a 3-pointer, man, the 76ers could probably do something, but. Honestly, to me, it could be the Celtics or the Raptors for me to come out of the East.
The East has some teams that have some tough guys. They have some tough assembled teams. Some guys who can score. They have a little bit of balance, but let's be.
I'm not saying the winner. I'm just saying the guys that are coming out of the East. Yeah. I don't even see the Bucks coming out of the East.
Right. Yeah. I don't see anyone in the East without LeBron James being in the East. It's no way a team in the East wins any finals. It's just not happening. Not for a while. They have to do something on that side of the pond, on that other part of the United States to really get, everything they're in and contend with the West. The West is just too deep right now. It's too best teams you think about that everybody is putting in power rankings and that everybody is predicting to win are all in the East. The only team that they can even consistently talk about coming out of the East are the Bucks, and they're having
overrated
right now.
And even then, I don't see the Bucks coming out of the East.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and if you get this motherfucker MVP again, he still can't get out the East. You need to take both them hoes back and give them where they rightfully belong. Because, like, if you're an MVP and you can't come out the East, you're trash.
So did the NBA recognize the bubble MVP?
No, they did.
I thought that was really funny how they. I think it was Bleacher Report that like, oh, bubble MVP Damian Lillard.
Yeah,
but
I still think should have been Booker. He went undefeated. Like it was, but we already know
God, that's gotta suck.
They got a different MVP
like,
award.
What's the point of bringing all these teams in the West into the bubble? Like most of them weren't even gonna make the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what a better basketball is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
it was pretty funny to watch the Phoenix Suns blow the hell out of the Dallas Mavericks. Though that's for sure.
Like, and that's super crazy. Boys like defied the odds, won it all, and just had no shot. Like it's fucked up. But like I say, with Portland though,
that's the worst part. Is like you handle your business, but you always also had to hope for like outside factors to come in.
Yeah.
Right.
That just sucked for. I honestly I felt bad for the Phoenix Suns. I felt like they had a good run.
Why were the Wizards in the bubble? They should have get no invite.
I want the Lakers, honestly. I mean, in my gut, I would say I want the Lakers to win only so Harden can finally face LeBron. Like, so that Harden can face in the wet and let it be no question that his team can overtake that, because that's a huge stepping stone, and that's a great caliber of player to give you constant confidence going into a finals. Because it's like once you can beat LeBron, let's be frank, when LeBron is beat, who else is the last saving grace in the finals period?
The Claw.
But we are. I think.
Look, Honcho, you've heard me say this many times. I just hate that matchup with the Clippers. For anyone.
Yeah.
I've said it before. The Clippers are the most complete team in the NBA. I've said that. Honestly, they should be the 1 seed. Yeah. In all actuality, but obviously the Lakers got lucky. Lakers got lucky and got the first seed. But that team is complete. One of the things I've said many times, the more complete your team is, because I mean, look at that bench. You tell me that bench could be in the starting lineup and anywhere else, and they're here.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I get that right now the chat's going crazy right now because the fact that I'm saying this about the Clippers, but
they are.
I mean,
the fact that they got championship quality with Kawhi on the team already. I mean,
but I mean, if you have a deep roster, you're gonna if you can literally get your starters out and your bench can still handle the business. I mean, I'm not saying that they're gonna win. I'm just saying that they have probably the better chances of all the teams in the West. But I mean, they can. It's not like I'm saying they're unbeatable. They can be beat. Any team can get beat any given day. Anybody knows any team can get beat. But I'm just saying, man, it's gonna be an interesting matchup because I mean, it's like the Rockets have like those levels, and it's like if you beat LeBron, then you got Kawhi, who's also been a proven playoff player. So I think it's going to be very interesting to see the Rockets. I mean, I like what they've done. I've told them, like, if you're, like I told you, Honcho, like, if you're going to do small, but you better commit to it and do it right. And I think the team did it right. And it's fun to watch, man. Honestly, it's really fun to watch, to see them, what they're doing. And like I said, man, it just trust Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey makes a lot of low risk, high reward decisions. Yeah. I mean, who would have thought Ben McLemore would be the guy the way he looks right now?
What that motherfucker?
And I don't know if we talked about this, Honcho, but I liked that move for some weird reason. The second I saw Ben McLemore was with the Rockets, I was like, I don't know why, but I like this move.
Yeah. It's definitely fucking paid off, so I can't complain about that. Shout out to Houston, Texas Talk, and Josh, I appreciate y'all showing love. I see you say LeBron will never win a ring with the Lakers, never. Harden and Westbrook do it for Kobe instead. And honestly, I got something I think about.
At some point, somebody's got to do something for Kobe.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised, like because I'm telling you, like because James mentioned talking about watching that Kobe Bryant documentary during this COVID break, and I wonder if that has had an impact on his mentality. You know what I'm saying? Because he talked about watching it, especially after Kobe passed and all that. And I know he's chopped it up with him and all that other stuff. So. Because I've seen a different mentality, it seems, in James. Like I don't know if it's Westbrook or if it's him in his own accord. Like there's more grit. There's like he's kind of taking more control over the game. Because it seems there would be games where in the past he'd be like, all right, James, like it's a big game, James, time to do your thing. But it's just I don't know. It just seems more controlled. Just again, like I said, little dude, Dort, good. He's a good defender. He's gonna be great one day. So like you got to respect that. Like it just is what it is. You got some of them guys who. That's just what they do, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how Kawhi was known early on as the defender before the rest of it came around. You know what I mean? So, but let's kind of get to that's probably the most Rockets we've talked ever in a long time.
At least on Saw Sports.
Yeah, definitely Sauce.
I was like Saw Sports TV. I feel like that was the always how we ended it was with some basketball talk.
But let's get into Westbrook's as report ass out there from the Garden. Giannis Harden next one. He said that shit. Like that's what I'm saying. Like it wasn't no thing. But and that's the thing too that people discredited for. Harden's the best post defender in the fucking league, but yet that narrative of him not playing defense still exists. That's why I say that stupid shit bothers me. But let's get into a team. Let's talk about a team. Let's won some shit, right?
You say it. This. It's like. Yeah, he's getting better. Like it's especially it's leaps and bounds.
Wink, like basically how I said, man. When it comes to these players that are on the pedestal, the issue is there's gonna be guys that praise them. There's gonna be guys that are gonna try to devalue everything. They said that he's a selfish player. I'm pretty sure there was at one point when he was leading the league in assists.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm pretty sure. I think in history as well. I think that he's been doing pretty well on that. The guy can't defend. I think he's shown you plenty of times to prove that the guy can defend. They throw things over and over again, and I mean, at this point, their only argument for to like say that Harden isn't great is the fact that the guy doesn't have a championship. But I mean, that can change very easily. But I'm just saying though, like, I think at this point, it's just gonna happen when you're on the pedestal of the league, which is what James is. Like I said, I think this is the best scorer I've ever seen in my existence. And you know, and I think that there's gonna be criticism and there's gonna be praise, and I think that just comes with the territory. And I think it's funny to do it with James Harden because the guy's an introvert. The guy likes to be on his own thing, and I think it's hysterical that it's of all people. You know what's funny? I think James Harden is like the Zach Greinke of the Houston Rockets.
That's crazy.
He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. He just does his own thing. The only thing different is that Greinke goes home to his family and James goes to his family at Club Onyx.
If we were to, do you think it would be real if we were to win this year? If we were to win it all, and then we can segue once they act just when you get a quick answer. But do you think if this team stays the way it is and there's not any salary cap issues, no real problems, and we're able to add probably a little bit more because I think you'll be able to lure in a few more people come next season. Do you think this team could repeat?
The Rockets?
Yeah. If we win this year.
All right. So the haters are going to throw an asterisk on it, so they're not going to call that a repeat. But I think obviously, I think Houston, already is a location to be at. I think obviously a lot of people love the city of Houston to start out first. But I mean, you know, obviously an opportunity to play with James Harden and Russell Westbrook is completely appealing now. But the thing is also is that you got to make sure these guys can buy into what Daryl Morey is trying to sell, and obviously it's about the 3-pointer. That's literally what they live and die off the three. But I mean, also, are the Rockets going to stay with this small ball? I hope that they do. Honestly, I really do, because I think that this is a team that is a perfect and prime example of how you do the small ball and how you do it right. I'd maybe get some more defensive-oriented players along with it. You know, make sure you solidify that bench. But I think it's not crazy to think that this Rockets team can't get more players. I think that this is gonna be a destination, at least for some players, especially if they buy into what this team is doing.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, you got guys like to shoot, and you get free range so that you're encouraged to shoot here. And I think if you're looking at powerhouses and you got a lot going on in LA, you know what I'm saying?
you're gonna be freed up because everybody's gonna be focused on James and Russ. So
Exactly.
I mean, you're gonna be open at some point.
Yeah, and so that's what I say. Like, I think that it will be, especially if they have a solid playoff run. It's going to be a guy who's going to be like, I'm the piece, I'm the guy, and he was going to want to be a part of that. Because I think the league, I don't know, I'm just speculating. I think players in the league feel a particular way about LeBron. I'm sure they know more behind the scenes. Like, if we can see it up front and be like, he's got some sketchy behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, not taking away. They ain't never committed no crime. It ain't never been no bullshit. I may not agree with him on other shit, but it's like, you too big. You're too basically have too much power in the NBA to be a passive aggressive motherfucker. Like, like that. That's kind of my thing about him that is just bothersome. But I think other players may see that because he's, like you said, he's gone to teams, and while being on that team has disrupted the team, and then after leaving, the team is never the same. And so when you go somewhere with LeBron, you have to think about not your present but your future. Like, is he even gonna be here next year? Like,
he changes a lot, man.
Yeah,
he changes a lot to the team, and I think. Like I was saying, man, just a prime example right now with the Lakers, the fact that you lost a lot of your young players. You lost Lonzo Ball, you lost Ingram, you lost Joe Hart, who I was actually personally one of my favorite players. But I mean, you lost a lot of those guys to get Anthony Davis, and it's kind of funny now if you look back at it, man, the fact that if they would have done it during the season, they would have gotten a lot more for Anthony Davis than they did. In the off season, because obviously they got a lot less. But I was one of those guys that was behind the young core. But obviously James is gonna do his changes, and he's gonna bring in the banana boat crew and all that stuff. So I mean, that's just kind of the thing that kind of sucks about the LeBron mania is that he's gonna make his changes. He's gonna want to bring guys that he wants to play with, and then unfortunately the guys that he plays with don't really play well without him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Let me just think real quick. Shout out to Dead Shred. He said he wanted me to shoot this message to you, Wink. He said, yo, Wink, I apologize for being a dick the other day. Your thoughts on the Texans are on point. I just think JJ has game left and will be gone soon. I agree. So that's it, bro. Really?
Man, no issues, man. I mean, you got a right to your opinion. I got the right, man. You stood on what you said, and I appreciate that. No apologies needed. You didn't offend me at all. It's just a misconception that I'm against this guy, and I'm not. I'm not the least bit. Like I've said many times, the way that Kobe went out before, before his last season, when he gave it his all, he stayed as healthy as he could. He went out, was scoring 60. I would love to see JJ go out with grace and dignity on the field, not so much concerned about what he does outside of the organization. I care about the production, and this man has spoiled us to a point that where I miss that so much, and I just don't want to see him in that position. I would rather see him gone before he looks like this. To miss over 40 games, damn near 40 games in the last 3 to 4 seasons, that's not a good look for a 3-time defensive player of the year at the end of his career, because you can attribute that to a few things. His training regimen, maybe he's losing his hunger, maybe he's thinking too much on the field, and maybe just the results of maybe some supplements and things that he's been able to do is probably just his body's just injury riddled.
Are you suggesting J.J. Watts on PEDs?
I mean, come on, man. What athlete at the highest level isn't taking some form of PEDs? Yeah. I mean, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
I'm not going to bash him for that. I'm not one of these purists that act like in football. I feel PEDs are very much needed, especially if you want to keep a high level of play and you want your guys, especially if the guys like Patrick Mahomes were to keep going down, and if he was to be busted and he was to start using PEDs to get back into game shape, to make sure that he can recover a lot faster, he can heal, those cells can grow, and he can get stronger, nobody is going to be mad about PED use. It has to be specific players. He is one of those players, and not that people haven't accused him. I'm not accusing him of that. I'm just saying, overall, I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Like, come on, man. Like, I can see the growth, and I can see the way he changed from year 1 to year 2. He looked completely different. And you don't do that in 6 months just because you work out with Brian Cushing. Come on, man. That boy had the juice. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, he just probably, is using certain things. I don't care, though. Yeah. Even if he did, it doesn't make no difference to me. The motherfucker was out here giving us the best football we could have on defense, and I applaud that man for his effort. He's a try-hard guy. He wants to prove everybody wrong, including me. Mm-hmm. And I want him to prove me and everybody who has something to say about him that would be deemed negative. No, I'm just holding this man to a certain standard that he put on himself. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I don't have anything against him.
Look, Jaja, y'all worry about getting to the next round, Jaja. Y'all worry about the Clippers. We on the way. And as long as the NBA don't try to fuck us and extend the series because, they don't want us too fresh for the next squad, we ain't going to say who. They ain't sweeping nobody.
Hey, I'm telling you, man, they're gonna try to bring Zion back somehow. It's going to be like the WWE. It's going to be like the WWE. You're going to have, like...
Those motherfuckers come running down the fucking ramp.
They're gonna have the commissioner coming. You're gonna have the commissioner coming out. Like Rockets just beat the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals. Like, no, there's one more match.
You want the belt?
And you just see Zion with the stars.
Gonna fucking slide onto the court and shit.
He brought the Monstars.
Motherfucker. Might as well.
Stone Cold Steve Austin theme song, like.
That would be 2020. All over. Like right now, I just want everything to go to chaos. Might as well just throw fucking wrinkles and everything. But that's why. But let's talk about though, like situation. Let's talk about the latest winning team in this city. A team that has proved. Honestly, every team in this city has proven something to the Texans. Like so.
Houston Dash?
But the latest winning is actually the latest was Dash. Yeah. So, but. And that's what I got to start thinking about. I'm like, well, shit, every team in here has fucking won something. The Astros won, Dynamo won, Dash just won, Rockets won. It's been a long time, but it's like, all right, Texas, it's your time. Like, yeah,
hey, you know
we're
what?
waiting on you.
Who was hating on the trophy, man? Because that trophy at this point looks pretty nice.
Who was? Somebody was hating on the trophy?
That was a pimp cup, man. They got a pimp cup. That's like that's the best trophy. I saw the MLS's back trophy. That thing looks stupid. Word. So I'm like, you know what? I'm glad we didn't win that stupid trophy.
fuck y'all trophy, nigga. Man,
it looks like that. It looks like that the candy jar that old people have.
Oh, man, where did old people get that questionable candy jar? Like the strawberry with the strawberry wrapper. Y'all know the candy I'm talking about. They always had that. They always have like some butterscotch. Some fucking crazy shit, dog. Like it's like, where do y'all get this? Like I don't even know where you get this fucking candy from.
When the last time I seen a Chico stick in an old lady purse?
Exactly. You know what candy used to be live? Like I used to fuck up. Y'all remember like them apple pops with the little caramel shit on them? Like it used to be like the lollipop was apple, but it had like caramel mixed in that bitch. Like them hoes used to go. Them hoes used to go super.
I was more of a. It was like that bubble gum that made you think that you were chewing tobacco.
Big League Chew.
Yeah, Big League Chew. That was my thing.
Yeah. I used to love Big Chew. I used to love Bubblicious. I always been a Reese's peanut butter cup guy. The original shit, not the thins, not the white chocolate one, not all of this goofy shit that they trying to reinvent the wheel. I like it. I like shit the way it is. Certain shit just don't need to be fucked with.
Yeah. But everything.
Oh man, if you put Skittles in front of me, I'm done. Like,
taste the rainbow. What's up,
punches? Them hoes used to go hard.
Sour punches, man. Like I say, it was a candy dog. Like I don't know, do they still make Fifth Avenues? Like I haven't seen one in years. I used to fuck them hoes up when I was young. But I haven't seen them in a long fucking time.
Never had a whatchamacallit in my life.
What?
Never.
That's actually I got those every time for Halloween, man.
Get you one. You won't regret it. Like my go-to is gonna be Mr. Goodbar, a whatchamacallit, or a.
You ever had $1,000 grand?
You ever had $1,000 grand?
Yep.
I've had one of them. They're cool.
I fucking hate Almond Joys.
Oh man, Jared, the zebra gum. Yeah,
the zebra gum went hard.
But the flavor only lasts for like 4 seconds. The zebra gum,
that's 5 seconds of flavor.
Dog, that fucking zebra gum, you chew that shit and be like, where'd the flavor go? Like you was like, oh yeah, this is.
I went through a whole pack. I was going through a whole pack one day just because I'm trying to get as much flavor as I can.
Zebra gum, Go hard, bro. Y'all, but see, come on, man. Some of these people, they don't even know shit about that, man.
Yeah.
Some people were born in like 2000, 2002.
You remember the powder? You had the little candy, like little spoon thing, and you would like be able to like dip the powder in with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go hard. And I feel the fruit roll. They still do it with the fruit roll-ups. They remember you used to be able, like, they had like where you could like it was kind of perforated. You could tear little like shapes and shit out of that shit. That was the dumbest shit ever. But
I never
still do it.
Get our kids gushers. So yeah, fruit roll-ups still go hard to this day.
Gushers always been live.
They still go hard.
Yeah, Gushers live at 5. Let me see.
This is gonna be an unpopular opinion, but I was a candy corn guy.
Oh, don't say it ain't so. That's the worst. I saw somebody post a thing about some candy corn cookies, like a recipe. Like, bitch, keep that recipe. Nobody want that shit. Who the fuck wants some candy corn
I can't
cookies?
do it with cookies. I just like candy corn. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't even know how I got put on it because we don't buy that stuff here.
Yeah,
but, I mean, somehow I just
Halloween. If you go trick or treating, you gonna see a lot of candy corn.
Yeah, like who started that shit? Like,
but I guess that's how it started for me, man. I just
Halloween.
Found a thing of candy corn. And I just ever since then I'm like, man, I really like candy corn.
let me see. Like, I know the raffle has to be within certain time. I don't think you can go over 100 on the raffle. That's why I think dead straight. So if you're playing like the raffle game, I think it's like 1 to 100. I think I got a little limitation on there.
I said it was gonna be an unpopular opinion.
It was definitely unpopular.
I like how everybody's all distraught now.
But now I wonder who's buying. Who are the people that are buying the candy corn? Now I know it's Hector. Hector's a candy corn.
That's why it's always there at Randall's, man. It's because damn Hector needs his candy corn.
Yeah. Clifford, what's the motherfucking deal, man? Yeah, man. Like I say, the candy corn's a crazy thing. But looking at the Astros, and if I don't think anybody noticed the thing that we talked about prior to the stream, where we said we if somebody noticed, and I forgot to put the bottom. If somebody noticed, there's something interesting with this stream. Mm-hmm. Not during the stream. I'll say it like that. If somebody can call out the unique thing about this stream, I'll give y'all 2,000 of the sauce. I'll give you 2,000 sauce. But I'm going to talk about the Astros. We know Hector's our resident Astros guy. Lots been going on with the Astros the last couple of games. And tomorrow, I know y'all fucking with the weekly recap. So the weekly recap will be dropped tomorrow afternoon. And there's a video dropping tomorrow morning. But heck, like, the Astros, man, some names have fallen, but the Astros are still balling. What's going on?
I mean, it's next man up mentality. I mean, you got to give props to the bullpen. I know a lot of people have been criticizing the pitching as of lately, but I really never saw an issue with the bullpen. I think a lot of the young arms have really surprised me. I mean, aside from Cy Snead, but I mean, a lot of the arms have impressed me. Like Andre Scrub, that dude looks good, and it's funny because his name is Scrub. Freaking Blake Taylor, man, the guy that we got in the trade for Jake Marisnik. Funny enough, I think in the video where I talked about that trade, I said that this guy could be making the team's roster because, I mean, he's a left-handed relief pitcher and he looks really good. I mean, the guy has really impressed. A lot of the young arms have impressed me, man. You got Christian Javier, who's now part of the starting rotation. Same thing with Brandon Bielik. I don't know how many times the announcers are gonna mention that he went to Notre Dame, but there's that. But I mean, like, the Astros, I honestly have been very impressed. The only thing that I'm going to be critical about is the hitting, because the hitting has not been at least up to like the Astros norm. I think the hitting for me has been an issue, even though I know that everyone's going to be like, well, the Astros are, you know, in the top 5 in runs per game and all that. But the crazy thing is that the Astros could be leading the MLB in runs per game because they've had multiple opportunities where they had runners in scoring position and they just get struck out or they just have a pop fly. Like, they've had opportunities where they could really put games out of reach. They've had opportunities where they could have won some of these games that they have lost because of the fact that they just never took advantage of runners in scoring position. But, I mean, aside from all those things, man, the guys have still been able to handle their business and, I mean, still be above 500, especially after they had that really bad slump. Well, not really a slump, but just had a few, just had a 2 bad series, but they got back together. I mean, they got lucky and had a good series against the San Francisco Giants, swept the Seattle Mariners, and then also finished the season series with a sweep with the Colorado Rockies. And I mean, they got a lot of confidence right now. I mean, the bats really did well in the Colorado series. In Colorado, I could say it could be probably the Coors Field effect, to be honest. for a lot of their hits. But I mean, they still got some confidence in there, and hopefully they can take that confidence into the Padres series. That's going to be a really good series to watch. It's going to be very, very intense because I mean, you got Fernando Tatis Jr. in the San Diego Padres, who has gotten a lot of controversy going on, especially with what he did with the Texas Rangers and people talking about unwritten rules of baseball and all that.
Yeah, I don't want to. Let's kind of jump into that for a second. That's something I've always talked about. Like, I don't get, I don't understand. Like, even when I'm watching, like, and people say that there's these unwritten. How the fuck are you supposed to know the rules if they're unwritten? Like, is it just something like, playing the game? You're just supposed to hope you know.
It's the tradition part. Like, it's, you know, players know it, you know, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will say some of the rules I think is very old at this point, you know, but like the issue that happened with Fernando Tatis Jr. was they had like a bases loaded. They were, I believe it was like the seventh inning. They were already up by 7 runs. The count was 3-0, and the pitcher from the Texas Rangers ended up giving him a really good pitch. So I mean, he swung at it, went oppo, and hit a grand slam. And I mean, like, the manager of the Texas Rangers, who just also happened to be a former coach for the LA Dodgers, got mad, and he went ahead and told his pitcher to go ahead and hit the next batter, which was Manny Machado. So they weren't happy, and then the manager of the Padres ended up also taking the side of the Rangers, which I thought was very bad. I think that he definitely hurt some sort of relationship between him and Fernando Tatis Jr. I think Tatis Jr., he's an exciting part of the game, and I think with that rule, I think that unwritten rule, for one, is stupid. You don't swing on a 3-0 count. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I mean, if he gives you a solid ball, go ahead and hit it. That's their own damn fault. I mean, the Rangers suck. I've told you guys this many times before anyways. I told y'all that this team wasn't going to be that good. And you know, he gave him an easy ball to hit. He hit it, and I mean, if you don't want him to hit home runs, then give him something better to swing at then.
Exactly.
And so I'll say that. And then what's funny is the next game, another dumb unwritten rule is that you don't steal third. And yeah, you never steal third. And Fernando Tatis Jr. went ahead.
Why not? Why?
I don't know. I guess given the situation, I mean, Rangers were losing.
Is it like you don't steal third ever, or you just don't steal third in that situation?
In that situation, okay. You don't steal third. Okay. And Fernando Tatis Jr. went ahead and stole third. I don't care, man. I say let the kids play.
Yeah, I'm right with Tatis,
I think that's one of the best parts about with these younger players now coming up. But I think that's with the old school guys getting mad about these things is also what's killing the popularity of baseball, because you know with that you're having people just like y'all getting kind of confused about what's going on, and you're like, come on, you know, especially when they had this whole little slogan of "Let the kids play," which I think is hilarious because you're like, you have this, and then you're not letting the kids play. Like, I mean, if you want to get them out. You know, it's the same thing with like the NFL when they were having issues with Cam Newton celebrating when he scored a touchdown, and it was like, if you don't want me to dance, go ahead and stop me from scoring a touchdown. That's basically the same mentality. And I'm gonna throw this other thing that I love about. This makes me even more of a fan of Fernando Tatis Jr., even though I'm already a fan of his, is when he went back to San Diego, his walk-up song was "Cry Me a River" by Justin Timberlake.
Wow.
I fucks with. I don't know. I've seen his face around, but I fucks with that. Like, yeah, fuck them stupid ass rules. Dog. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, you know what? Don't let me. If you don't want to get blown out, don't let me fucking blow you out. Like, is that? Otherwise, deal with it, bitch. Like, that's my whole thing. But you can hit me. And it's okay.
You know what? I guarantee you though. If the Yankees would have been in that situation and they hit they would have been praising the Yankees all day. So I mean,
absolutely.
Like I said, it's the fact that the Padres are doing this. Yeah. It's the fact that the Padres are doing this. Padres are a team that everyone's assuming are not going to be a good team. I've been hyping up the Padres for some weird reason. I have no idea why I do that, but I do. But I mean, I like the Padres. I don't know what it is. I guess I have a soft spot for that team, but I've liked a lot of the things that they've been doing as a team and an organization, and that's kind of the reason why I put them in my top 5 series I wanted to watch in the South Sports TV video that I did, and honestly, they're living up to what I've been hoping for, and I'm really excited to see what the Astros do with this team.
Well, that's what's happening. Like I said, and you gotta love it. It's the fact that, like I say, some big names have gone down or injured. We're gonna have to see, how it plans out over the long run. But, I mean, they're still balling. Like that's commendable. Like
I mean, shoot, Alex Bregman gets hurt. I mean, hopefully, obviously, I hope he gets good,
Yeah.
but he gets better. But I mean, they didn't have Alex Bregman, and they still were able to hit. And I mean, you gotta give props to Kyle Tucker for coming up big, man. Having in that road series alone with the Colorado Rockies, had 3 triples, hit a home run. I mean, the guy just had a game, had a series. Honestly, man, I think Kyle Tucker has had a lot of criticism given to him because obviously this is one of the prospects that the Astros are not letting anybody get in a trade. And, a lot of people have been criticizing like, hey, man, we could have gotten this guy, we could have gotten that guy and all this. But, we refuse to trade this guy away. And I think, he's trying to – I think the pressure was too much for him. Obviously he was like trying to live up to the expectations of the Astros, but I think he kind of relaxed, found his groove, and really got to do, and he ate. He had a great game, and I mean, it's the reason why Kyle Tucker stayed with the Astros organization for this long.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know if anybody caught that yet.
No, I was saying I was peeping, but I don't know if anybody has. But we'll see. So we got into Mark, but I want to touch on a couple other things. So there's 2 or 3 other little things we want to touch on. And that's why I am enjoying the fact that, like I say, going from the Texans to the variety in all of the teams, because, again, you get a much more diverse conversation. Everybody deserves it. And I know y'all get mad when we say it, but, again, like, it's weird in Houston because the Texans get more love than anybody. But, again, they produce the least out of any team. And
they do the least amount of Houston stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I told you the other day I was listening to that the Rockets game in Orlando. They was fucking playing Tops Drop. Like, they got them playing the shit in Orlando. They playing Tops Drop on the court when they out there, like, hooping. I think start the game off. And it's just like, have I ever heard? I don't even know if I've heard Houston music at practice when they put the practice clips up and shit. Like,
I mean, with at Toyota Center, it's because that's Rockets. That's a Harden's playlist.
Yeah. Oh, so hard. That's Harden fucking with the music. So
yeah,
like that's what I'm saying. So, but what I mean, like, but the Texans is like, I'm sure somebody has some input, some say so. I don't know who the DJ Scratch and Sniff is over there, but it's just like I don't ever hear nothing H-Town coming out there, bitch. Like, and that's bothersome. Like in the arena, you can't like. Do you understand how wild motherfuckers would go? I don't know how long it takes to open up the stadium for the Texans. Like, I don't know how long it would take, but. Like, if you would open that bitch and play Tops Drop while you're opening the fucking state, do you know how nuts people would go?
Go nuts.
Bro, that shit would be the livest.
Deshaun may not know about anything about Houston music, but I'm sure if you put him on it, he'll rock to it.
Yeah. Like I said, John had a very interesting taste in music, but it's actually funny because there was a couple of artists I see like most of the shit he like. I don't really care for a lot of these young motherfuckers that he fuck with, but there's one artist I see he follows. He be fuck with a bunch of tweets and shit that I fuck with. Take about 15 minutes to open up. You know what I'm saying? Okay, we're gonna have to put him on, man. We're gonna look Deshaun. Where you at, baby? Look, you're gonna have to holler at us, man. We're gonna have to help put the real sauce, put the real H-Town sauce on it because we want you to be here for a long time, baby. You know what I'm talking about? So we want to make sure you got the official certified the Southside drip. You know what I'm talking about? Man, if you saw Watson in the slab, I'd lose my shit, nigga. Watson pull up to the stadium on some swingers, nigga. Hey, talk about it. Hell, dog, man, come on, dog. And swing that whole pop the trunk on him, you know what I'm saying? With some neons in that bitch, 4 gon' scope. Or some shit. I think are you muted? I'm not sure you're muted. Okay, there you go.
No player ever pulled up in the slab. That don't make he was from the city. I'm sure got enough money to put a slab together.
Yeah,
come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what?
Just somebody go give. Just give him one. Just give him one. Everybody gives people stuff. Why don't you just give him a slap?
Just give
him one. Just give him one.
Hands down will immediately become the best fucking mascot in the league if you pull up.
Watch out, Clutch be out there, man. Clutch and shit, Orbit be in them streets too, man. You know what I'm talking about? You gotta watch out. We got some mascots out there.
We got the best group of mascots in all sports.
Yeah, but whoever pull up in the slab first gonna get the win. If Orbit pull up in there, bitch, y'all out of there. Orbit probably might be most likely to pull up in there, bitch. You know what I'm talking about?
Diesel from the Dynamo comes out, everybody's gonna become Dynamo fans.
You feel me?
Man, you remember our old Rockets mascot in the fucking Turbo? What was his name?
Turbo was live.
Turbo, the one who used to get shot out of the torpedoes.
Yeah, and be flipping and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Turbo was live
hard, bro. with
Like-
the old Rockets.
I wonder how many Astros fans remember Junction Jack.
I don't know.
What was Junction Jack? Was that?
He was the rabbit.
It was a right. Okay. I'm thinking.
It was back with the Astros when they were with the pinstripes. A lot of people aren't fans of the pinstripe jerseys.
I wasn't fans of the Rockets
I'm a
pinstripe
fan
jersey.
of pinstripe jerseys.
I am too.
I didn't like the Rockets
It was
pinstripes.
clean.
The other ones was cool. Actually, was cool.
Yeah.
The
I
emblem was clean too. I
didn't-
don't care what you say, Honcho. The emblem was clean as
But
fuck.
the Rockets, that was like
The cartoon
the
Rockets?
worst Rockets era for me. And blue is like one of my favorite colors. Like so,
Easy. No, when we went to the white and red jerseys with McGrady hands down, those are our worst jerseys ever. I'm glad they don't rock them.
just plain. Yeah, I feel. I like them black ones too. I like
Ketchup and mustard has always been my favorite with the Rockets.
Yeah.
ketchup and mustard.
Yeah, I just don't think the Astros were ever going to bring back the red jerseys, Asmo. I think it's just because of the fact that with the losing, kind of, they wanted to move on from that. That's mainly a Jim Crane thing. Jim Crane wanted to move on from that look, and that's why they brought back the orange and blue color scheme. Oh, Adrian, you guys mind if I talk some Dynamo?
Yeah, I want to come. I did want to get to the domino too before we.
Okay, so Adrian's asking me a question. Any thoughts on the Dallas fans booing and throwing stuff at FC Dallas players during the national anthem? So if you guys haven't been familiar with what happened, so FC Dallas and Nashville have to play 3 additional games along with the restart of the MLS season because obviously they missed out on the tournament. And so during the national anthem not Dallas, it was Frisco. But in Frisco, all the players from Nashville and FC Dallas took a knee during the national anthem, and they actually allowed fans to come to the FC Dallas Nashville game, and they booed them and threw stuff at them.
Wow, for taking a knee.
Yeah, for taking a knee during the national anthem,
Wow.
which is embarrassing in my opinion. I think now
about
embarrassing for the fans of FC Dallas, but also embarrassing for the MLS and just soccer in general, man. Because obviously, a lot of people like the thing that everybody likes to spread about soccer is that it's a game that is open to anybody. Anybody can play this game. It's the international language, I guess you can say for soccer, and for that to happen for that, I was even though I'm not an FC Dallas fan, obviously, but I mean obviously that's a team I despise, but I mean for that to happen, I was embarrassed for them. That was just. It's it's embarrassing to see that because you think that a sport that's supposed to be very open to the people, not only towards different race groups, but also in the LGBTQ community as well. And to see that, that was just embarrassing, and it just kind of you definitely feel like you stepped back like a few steps from what you were trying to progress. You know what I mean? So going into the Texas Derby, I hope we beat the shit out of FC Dallas.
Why is Dallas? What's up with Dallas and all the fuck shit? Because even when there was some shit that happened with the Rangers right during Harvey, they were supposed to swap series or something like that. And
the Astros so in 2017 when Hurricane Harvey hit, obviously the Astros were supposed to have a home series with the Rangers, and they requested if they could swap series. So they would play in Arlington instead, and then whatever they were supposed to play Arlington, they would play in Houston. But the Rangers decided not to, and they had to play in Tampa Bay. Which, if you guys know anything about Tampa Bay, it is a ballpark that the Astros tend to not perform well in. They did lose that series, so that was kind of one of those F the Rangers kind of thing. I obviously, you would think that, hey man, can you just, make an exception for it? But no, they didn't want to. So that kind of sucks. But I mean, in the end of it all, who won the World Series that year? So we got the last laugh at the end of it.
Okay. All right, yeah, Dallas is a janky place. It's a terrible place. Yeah. Samson Simpson, I stick by my story. But like I say, what time it is, folks, and I'm going to be honest, I really enjoyed today's show. A lot of variety, because what happens, and this is why I'm glad we've gone back to this format, because what was happening with the Texans, honestly, because I'm a person, I don't really like to do hypotheticals a whole lot. They have their place, in a conversation, you know what I'm saying? But I like talking about teams that are here now and doing. And right now, other teams are having more success than the Texans. So what would happen with that Texans conversation, because we expect so much out of them, then we get frustrated because they kind of fail to live up to that. It was just the conversation was getting a little frustrated. So it's good to be able to kind of diversify and crack some jokes. It's always a good time.
Honcho, just like I said in that one video on South Sports TV, I'm like, if you guys want to talk about happy stuff with the other teams in Houston, come to South Sports TV. If you want to be depressed, go to South Sports.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we gonna fucking
straight up.
Gonna be ugly. Just came by to say, fuck Southern Oklahoma teams. I agree, Voodoo. 110%. And exactly what it is.
You know what I love about the Astros and the Dynamo players. The thing that I love the most about these guys is the fact that they aside from the fact that Dynamo have been very subpar to me, but I mean, the fact that these guys embrace these rivalries that they're put in. Yeah. AJ De La Garza, I mean, some people may feel the way they feel about him at this point, but when he came into the Dynamo, and at this time, so for since you guys aren't familiar with soccer, whenever a team wins a championship, they put a star on top of their badge. So for how many stars they have on top of their badge, that signifies how many championships the team has. And the FC Dallas doesn't have a single one because they have never won a championship. And they decided to make a jersey. It was a white and blue jersey, and they had stars on the top, like just across the chest. And so AJ De La Garza made a comment. It's like, oh, that's the only way you're going to get stars in your jersey, huh? And so I love that one. And then for the Rangers, I love when I believe it was Jeff Bannister, the manager of the Rangers at the time. He said something about, well, we're a Texas team. That's the reason why we have Texas on our chest. And Lance McCullers replies, no, it's because nobody knows where Arlington is.
Straight up. Real talk, man.
Wow.
I love that, dog. I love that. Somebody says Austin FC, best MLS team in the country. Thoughts on that, Hector?
Win a game at some point first. Honestly, though, you know what? I do. I kind of like some of the things that Austin is doing just because just because of the fact that, like, one, Matthew McConaughey is part of the ownership group for there. So I that's pretty badass of its own thing. But I mean, obviously,
outside
you guys
of outside of UT, and like every team he supports loses.
But I mean, that's not a good sign for y'all, for you, Cody. No, I mean, I kind of like what Austin's doing. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna bring anytime soon, but it'll be interesting to see. I just, you know what, add some more rivalries here in Texas. I'm all about it, so I'm good with it. But I mean, as of right now, well, I don't even know who's the best team in Texas when it comes to the MLS, in my opinion. Honestly, right now, it could be anybody at this point. It's like that quote from Dodgeball. We don't even know who our best player is. At this point, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
Man, I dig this. That's wild. I love it. Like I say, just this variety. This is. I feel much better. Like, this is for the city. This is the way it feels so much more. This conversation is for the city. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when you just sitting there talking to, you don't feel like you're necessarily talking about. Because even think about some of the conversations we had in the past about. We started talking about bringing the Oilers back and shit this season. That's where we went to. Talking about the H town. It was the Northside Oilers.
I just think with the thing is with just only talking Texans, you end up saying the same things over and over again because it's not like anything changed.
Yeah, because they haven't done anything.
You really do, because they haven't done. Yeah. They like we were talking when we were talking offline. Yeah. These guys constantly let other teams, other players. We know we have a great roster, but you don't control your own narrative for your team, so you allow everybody else. But then the fans repeat themselves, and then when they come here, they don't get what they know they need, which is positivity. I mean, you do have some channels who are a little overly positive, and by all means, if you feel you need to have some positive, because when we speak positive about this team, y'all already know how crunk we gonna get when they out here busting teams' ass, and when they do it the right way. But,
I think it's funny how we get misconstrued as a negative channel when it comes to Texans, but I think it's obviously. I think it's funny though, but at the same time, it's like it's not like we're hoping that this happens. You know? Like, we don't.
Who would dedicate so much time to just wanting to shit on a team? Like, nobody wants to do that.
We would have a much bigger.
Like, I would love to eat crow. Like, if I said that, you know what, I'll say mark my motherfucking words, Texans again win the Super Bowl. But like, I'd eat crow on that, like any day. You know, if they do it.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, come on, man. Like, crow. Who is openly eating the crow. Like, who is openly saying, if I'm incorrect, call me out on my shit, and I will own up
And
to
you
it.
can talk to that person directly.
Exactly. Like, you got multiple ways of contact. Like, the sauce is extremely accessible.
Footballer, we're not talking about Sticky, by the way.
No, we're not talking about
No,
anybody
I didn't say
particular.
that. We got
No,
more
I just know who footballer is going to reference.
but we do have a lot of channels that are overly dedicated to the positive side, and not that you shouldn't want that, and not that you can't put that energy out, but it's not up to you ultimately. It's up to the team, the coaches, and the front office.
Yeah.
And until they go deep in the playoffs, until they beat teams in the regular season, to be able to build up some confidence to go into a postseason to aim towards the Super Bowl and stop aiming so low for AFC South championships, because that's all that's going to be that the Texans can attain at this point. Why does this team deserve all of this media attention? We're so slept on. How?
Yeah. Like, aside from Deshaun,
before, why? What made? I mean, we've done it before.
Yeah, like Deshaun deserves all the love and credit. And he actually he gets not enough recognition. To me, I don't think he gets enough recognition. And then with the I think they get more recognition they deserve now, albeit some of the things in the pieces. But you see, as soon as Hopkins left, how much more love he's gotten. Like, that's a message we've been telling y'all. That's why I say this is H-Town. Like, this is not about being a Texans, Rockets, Astros. Like, this is Houston fans. Except for Hector's Laker issue, but that's the problem. We'll talk about it. You can't be perfect all the time. But this is a Houston fan.
I'm realistic about the Lakers, at least, though.
Yeah, at least, exactly.
I'm realistic about the Lakers.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a H-Town. So this is for fans of Houston. Even if you're not from here, we fuck with you, dog. Like, so it's not about none of that. And like you said, it's the misconstrued. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, dog. Like, I have to. Like, I went the positive route, and I saw how y'all treated us. You know what I'm saying? We start off with the positive route, then when the Texans go to shit, people stop watching, right? So it's like, I'd rather be 100% genuine of how I feel instead of trying to prop and promote a team who ain't gonna show me no love, no way. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with them. It is what it is. I understand. I'm a fan. That's why we say we're fans. I'm not an expert, not a journalist. I'm not a nothing. I'm a fan.
And y'all act like even if we are on a down week, case in point, we proved this shit last year. I remember me and you did the show last year. We barely beat the Bucks, right? Mm-hmm. It's time to go face Tennessee. Well, we lose to the Broncos. It's time to go face Tennessee. Me and you were pretty down. We were like, man, I don't know how this shit gonna turn. Then the Titans fans started talking shit. What happened?
Exactly.
We immediately switched.
Exactly.
You know what? We were like 50 minutes in. You know what? I was like, fuck this shit, bro.
Yeah. I remember that bit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's my thing. Like, how can we be so if that was the case, we'd let motherfuckers come in here and be reckless with the shit they do. Nobody gets to, if we come in here and you're not a Texans fan and we know you're not a Texan, you don't get free reign to talk crazy. Like, come on, y'all know that shit. Like, it's like, if you my partner.
One guy that was trying to tell us that, that
I can talk about my girl, but
like
you
that.
can't.
Yeah, like here, and it's like this, man. Like, if you my partner and I fuck with you and I see you doing crash dummy shit and I don't say, hey, stop doing crash dummy shit, I'm not your partner. You know what I'm saying? If I'm letting you do, and so that's what it is. It's just calling team out, man. It's some bullshit that's going on. If I say, if you doing crash dummy shit, I'm like, yeah, go. Watching you burn yourself out, you know what I'm saying? About to explode into a ball of flames on some dumb shit. And I'm a terrible person for that.
And one thing I can tell y'all right now, if you're that over positive type, make sure
go somewhere with that foolishness.
Discord is gonna be popping all day. I'm telling you right now, you just might get kicked and somebody else just might take your spot.
Yeah, like right now it's
just make sure you stay on the right sport.
Yeah, make sure you're on the right sport. Yeah, if you ain't fucking with the Discord, man, look, Jack, and being real serious about it. Really debating, like, this ain't we're trying to put, like, really debating, like, if we were still talking about it, like, may cut off access to the Discord, like, early in the season, depending on how things go, and then, like, rock with who's in there, and then, open it back up, like, after the season. Because the Discord is like it's a different energy. Like, right now, it's kind of been, kind of so because the games weren't being played, but, like, right now, but this would have been being preached. Like, do you know how live, like, this Sunday would have been if it's, y'all don't understand. If you haven't been in there for especially for like a Texans game, and we were in there for the whole game, chopping up. Dog, it's some of the funniest shit I've ever been.
Aside from Wink getting mad at me because my TV is actually ahead of him.
Yeah, that's the one thing you got to watch out for, because people do be getting shit differently, and so like somebody may be on point, somebody may be a play behind, maybe 2 plays behind, so they be like, "Shut up, I know, don't say nothing about it." But then you hear a motherfucker reaction, so you know what the fuck going on. But just the conversation in there, though, like especially just it's a different. It's like honestly like. Fucking with the Roundtable, and this is the crazy thing, and a lot of y'all too, man, have never met any of y'all. They've never met the Roundtable, but it's like a fucking brotherhood. Though. Like if it's just something different. The way that we click, just the conversations, and again, like I say, that's why I know it's legit. Like ain't nobody can't tell me shit. Like I know it's legit, and nobody's having this conversation. So. Y'all gotta understand the difference too. Is like I say, we're not trying to be no journalists. We're not trying to be all. This is a community, dog. Like this is a community conversation. That's sauce, ingredients. Like there's a reason we call y'all the ingredients. It takes ingredients to make sauce. Like we care about your fucking opinions too. Like you're a part of this conversation. So any question that's being levied out to anybody, me to Wink or whoever's on stream, like that's for y'all too. Like we want to know y'all opinions too. So when y'all like if you see somebody may answer something. I may just tell them, okay, well, and throw it in there. Like, we fuck with y'all. Like, so don't, like, that's what I say, like,
how to get into Discord, you guys got to join the Patreon.
Yeah, if you want to be in the Discord, you got to join the Patreon, patreon.com/saucesports. At the $5 tier or higher, but like I say, when the C-Star, we're going to, like, the higher tiers are going to get some special privileges. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, just, appreciation for. So if you want to be a part of that, like I say, you may want to get in there sooner than later because, like I say, we may kind of keep it shut because, like, honestly, when there's a lot of people in there, if there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people trying to talk, whatever, it could get a little hectic. So, like, it's going to be, like, say, some of the higher tiers, you'll get some, like, priority speaker, you'll get some more benefits, like, for support. But if you want to be a part of that $5 tier of Patreon, make sure you join that. And like I say, it will be, it's a couple other things that's going to be going on. So, like I said, we'll be having live watch parties in that bitch. We're gonna be on cam and all that other stuff. It's gonna be real live. Like we'll do the halftime shit. All that shit's gonna be real live in the motherfucker.
So you can see the reactions live. Dog, we can get you guys out some more content.
Dog, like everybody. You gonna see everybody.
Oh, there's content coming for sure, man. Dog. I've been busting my ass.
That's the shit Hector got. Like I busted out. Hector be putting. Y'all don't understand the work Hector be putting. Hector got videos to go. Like, and then, like I say, we got.
I even got just in case videos for
Honcho. Exactly. Like, that's the thing. So Hector's been putting in work, like, and then, like I say, some of these series that we're supposed to, like, we're gonna do the countdown to Kansas City. That's the thing we're doing. Some of that will drop real soon, but it's 2 or 3 other little series. I'm like, when I talk about there's so much content that we got to give. Content is not the issue. So if you ever see like, oh, there's no Salt Sports, they must not have. It's never the issue. Content is like not the problem or something to talk about, even if it's non-Texas. Like. That's not the problem. It's just usually if something's going on, a time hiccup, dog. Like so, like it's just y'all just be ready for this season. It's gonna be a whole new sauce. It's gonna be the original shit that brought you to the sauce, plus so much more. You know what I'm saying? Because like I say, this is a community where we're trying to build here. A place where people who feel like, because honestly, like if you're a Texans fan or whatever, you can't say certain shit to, oh, you hating or you doing this and you doing that. Like you can't go feel comfortable being honest about your opinions in certain places.
And I want to spend a special shout out. We haven't heard from this man in quite some time, but if you out there, Don y'all a message.
Man!
You with us this season. We need that energy, bro. We need you to pick us up when we are down on the song. You need to call in ASAP and just let us know you still alive.
Yeah, exactly. Don Yalla Messenger. Anybody who know how to get in contact with Don Yalla. I wish I'd have saved the nigga number on the goddamn song. I need to go back and check. I don't think I did though. I might have had on the old one. But
we need a return of 10.
Yeah, we gotta get Tenny back, man. I know Tenny been putting in work, been holding it down, like, but you already know when Tenny come back, oh, the levels of toxicity are rising when Tenny come back. It's going. I can't wait, man. So, like I said, man, it's like
Adrian, we do have a Twitch channel.
Yes, we do have a Twitch channel. If you want to see the adventures of Edward Houston, yeah, man, we ain't gonna be holding down the mountain.
Dr. Double.
Yes.
Mr. Walk-Off Grand Slam.
I taught Tatis everything he knows, man. Look, I did it before Tatis did it, man. Nah, but like,
team, and we will also probably be doing the franchise mode if it's worth it this year. Last year, franchise was it was okay, but the mud content will be on deck. So if you guys play mud, if you guys want to help come through, trust me, we're gonna be in it. Make sure you guys are supporting, because once I go live, I'm gonna try to go live at least 3-4 hours a day. Get y'all like some good content that we can have on Twitch and YouTube, as well as the Discord and what's the other one? Mixer.
And Mixer. Yeah, Mixer dead. They killed Mixer. So Mixer turned. They turned Mixer into Facebook gaming now. Yeah, they shut it down.
It's over.
Yeah, I was sad about that shit. Mixer was live.
Facebook bought Mixer.
Yeah.
I will say also for FIFA content, I'm gonna put a pause on that just because I'm gonna wait till FIFA 21 comes out and then give you guys some real good FIFA content on that. Okay. But yeah. But you will get plenty of MLB The Show, though.
Yeah. And maybe we'll find Wiper's face. But
what's going on with Mixer? What happened?
Yeah, they shut it down. they shut it out like in July.
Facebook bought them out. Bought them out.
And so now it's Facebook gaming now. It ain't Mixer no more.
Yeah, I don't know if you notice on Facebook now, but now you're seeing more people. Like, I don't know why I get recommended to watch, like, some dude play video games on Facebook.
It's like, Facebook is crazy. Now, have y'all seen, like, the update now with, like, on the desktop look? Like, I think the app is still the same, but the update on the desktop looks crazy. Like, they turned that bitch into Instagram. It looks stupid, but people still gonna use it. Like, ain't shit gonna change, man. Like, so,
I mean, they do own Instagram, so.
Yeah, so that's why I'm wondering if they're trying.
Yeah, man. Ninja got 100 million off of that and then can go right back to Twitch.
Dip, dog. That's so crazy.
So they pretty much consolidated everything. They honestly kind of made it.
I'm kind of mad, man. My mom used to tell me that I could never make anything out of myself by playing video games. Yeah. And here we are.
Making livelihoods, dog. That's the wild shit. But yeah, like I say, plenty of content coming, man. Like I said, we're gonna give it all in Discord. Like I said, Discord is more of a chat app, but it allows you. Imagine being in a Assault Sports chat, having access to it 24 hours a day. But with voice content, having access to the Roundtable, like if you want to holler at somebody, you can tag them and tell them, hey, let me shoot the shit with you. What are your thoughts on this? Like
you can even send us a personal message.
Yeah, like we try to
talk to somebody specifically if you have a specific issue, if you got a grievance, if you just want to chop it up with that person one-on-one because you like that content or you just got something to say. You have all the abilities to be able to do all of the above. And I'm telling you,
you want to question Wick's take on Nicolas Cage? I mean, go for it.
Goat. But yeah, like I said, there's so much going on, man.
The best confused face in movies.
I don't even think I ever finished Face Off. I don't even know if I finished watching Face Off. I don't know.
It's really good it's really good your first time watching it, but then the second time you're just like,
bro, you know what's so cringy?
Yeah.
When he did the whole face shit. Oh.
Yeah.
That shit is disgusting. Wash your hands, bro. What the fuck?
That's when you need to start. We should have been telling people to wash their hands after watching that movie.
What the fuck? Yeah, you immediately, bro. Pull out your hand sanitizer right now. You got to be tapping, baby, bro. I feel dirty.
Man, motherfuckers been running around these streets with dirty hands. They got dirty hands in the streets now. Niggas still ain't washing their hands, nigga. The motherfuckers have lost their shit. But
oh man, I almost misread that. I thought he said that Golden State Warriors got the #1 pick. I was about to be mad about that.
Yeah. If they get it, it's gonna be some bullshit. Get fucking LaMelo.
Get LaMelo, dude. Yeah. I honestly, I'm thinking LaMelo's gonna be something. LaMelo's gonna be.
Because I think I was surprised with Lonzo. Like, I know I'm saying like Lonzo's a great, but like I think you had people who were like, oh, he won't be serviceable in the NBA. He won't even make it.
I think if you look at Lonzo as just a point guard, not this Russell Westbrook or Steph Curry type, but is going to drop like 30 points plus like maybe 10 rebounds. Yeah. But this guy might drop like 10 points and then maybe give you like 15 assists and like maybe like 8 rebounds. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like a traditional point guard. If you look at Lonzo like that, he's going to have a career. He'll have a career in the NBA. But LaMelo
has a chance to be a star.
That kid's gonna be a star.
Like it's in him. He's got the personality for it. Because like Lonzo even coming out was kind of quiet. Didn't really say seemed to like trying to get under his dad's shadow. I don't I haven't been watching a lot of
Jello just didn't care obviously because he went ahead and robbed the Chinese store.
Like come on, dog. Like you don't want to rob a Chinese store in America. much less rob a fucking Chinese store in China. What the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, come on, man. You smoking big dope. You on that fucking flocker. Like, what kind of logic has to go in your mind to do some shit like that?
And it's not like your dad has money or anything like that.
Exactly.
And they ain't no U.S. embassy or nobody that can save your ass over there in them Asian countries. They do not play it. I know from experience.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that shit is wild.
The fact that you had Donald Trump having to go out of his way to help you.
Yeah, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
You
that's...
back pocket.
Well, LaMelo, he should have just doesn't care. He doesn't care if he does anything. Like if his dad, what his dad says. I think he's gonna be something. I don't know.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
LaMelo is the one that went to go play in Australia.
Yeah.
And
yeah, man. You guys, man, if y'all not a part of the Discord, I highly suggest you look right now. You can go in the description box, or you can go to the About section, on Honcho's channel, and the links is there, for everything you need, from the Twitch to, the Twitter, to everything, bro. It's going to be a sauce overload. We're not playing no games this year. We see the bigger picture on some things, and we know we can capitalize, on this season, what we have going on top of, who knows what the fucking Astros, Dash, Dynamo, and these Rockets going to end up doing. So it will be in your guys' best interest to make sure that you are on board, because...
And I mean, I get it, man. It's $5. I understand with the situation, but I guarantee you it's actually well worth it.
Everybody who's paid has had anything to say, and they've been pretty frequent in the server.
I mean, football, tell them.
Oh yeah.
All right, yeah, there we go.
And for anybody, man, y'all make sure y'all be in tune to that Twitch, because I think this weekend, probably come Friday, I gotta go get something for my Xbox. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna purchase that Madden. We're gonna be ripping up packs all season. We're gonna be going through all the promos. We're gonna go through the journey together. We're gonna try to get Mud Master, all of that cool shit. I understand everybody doesn't play Mud, but hey, you just might end up becoming a fan of that shit. And I understand everybody can't drop no money, but hey, you can grind the game. It's more than one way to get one thing that you want. I was no money spent like a couple of years ago, and my team was legit across the board. So just grind the game. It's gonna be a long journey. We're gonna find some shit out. For people who haven't played Madden in a while, we're gonna try to get y'all back on board. See if you can give it another try with some of the enhancements that they made, and hopefully they make these superstar X factors and shit like that. Hopefully all of them end up working in some similar ways, man. Because I could see them taking an extra step this season versus what they just did, because this Madden 20 was a legit game. I really liked it, but there were some things and there were some glitches and some things that they had in the game that I didn't like. So we're gonna be coming up with schemes. We'll probably depending on what you guys want. If you guys want like a theme team or something like that, y'all gonna be able to vote on shit like that. Naturally, you guys are gonna want Texans, but if we're gonna do Texans, I'm always gonna rock an Oilers jersey on Mutts. That's just the way the game goes. Oh, and they brought Andre Johnson back in the game.
What?
As legend?
Yes, Andre Johnson is part of Mutt, and it was just announced. Yes, it was just announced. He's going to be one of the guys that you're going to be able to build on your team. He's going to be a net player, so that's a guy that you can't trade. You get to build him up through the season. Yep. Andre will be in the game.
That's crazy. Oh, wow, that's crazy. Yeah, definitely gotta check that out. All right. Well, here's the deal, y'all. Look. See, we start talking about sports. I get some extended sauce. You know what I'm saying? And because it's much more conversation, dog. Like I say, it's getting back to that original.
Honcho, was it the police?
Oh,
was the police not?
I wouldn't have returned if it was. Huh? At least not that quickly. A couple of days from now, maybe. But So here's the deal, though. Like I said, I fucks with y'all, man. But it's about that time. We finna get ready to cha-cha. Gentlemen, anything y'all want to say before we get up out of here?
And y'all, like we said, it's also low. Make sure y'all Patreon, sign up. It's no reason why after we just dished all of it, and I haven't seen no notification pop up from the Discord saying somebody's new to the server. Y'all tripping with yourself. I don't know what the fuck you wasting your time for. If you gotta wait till tomorrow to get paid, by all means, make sure you put $5 to the side.
Yeah.
Also, man, that $5 is gonna go into the sauce, man. Make sure we make this a whole lot better than what it already is, man. You know, we got big visions for what this network is gonna be, and I mean, you know, every contribution is gonna help us out, man. You know, we're trying to give you guys the best content because you guys deserve it.
Exactly, and giving it to you from a fan perspective, and this is why we say like your opinion matters. There's not no situation where I think I'm better than you, or any of us think we better. Oh, got a bunch of people following. Oh, they think, and that's never the fucking case, though. Like, you know, people say stuff.
I always go back to that one day where one stream when I actually said that I would love to have Lovie Smith as the Texans head coach, and I remember there was a comment that said, "Man, Hector lost all his credibility," and I was like, "Joke's on you, man. I have zero credibility."
But that's the thing, like, and that's what makes it so.
I'm just the guy that makes impersonations of Hugh Jackson.
Yeah,
that's what I'm here for. But time come in to practice this morning.
Like just these things like that. There's been so many fucking hilarious good times. Like, and so I got to get better too with chopping up these videos and saving a lot of this content, dog. Because there's so much shit. Like, I'm gonna go back and save some of this candy shit we was talking about earlier too. Because that's important conversation. People need to know about the proper candy, you know, the digestion. Because if not, you out there eating wrong candy in these streets. You know, niggas gonna talk about you, man. You can't be out there eating the weird shit.
People need to know about the comedy element when it comes to this.
Yeah, like, because you know, when you tell somebody, oh, these guys are just negative, so these motherfuckers think we over here just, fucking Texans suck, I hate Bill O'Brien.
Man, I mean, how many references do we make today? We had the six cock heaven chick. You know, if we're talking Rockets, I'm gonna make a strip club joke about James Harden.
Exactly. Like, that's what y'all gotta say, man. Appreciate the love. Shout out to football and purple drink. And yeah, you have there is the avenue through the membership if y'all want the emojis and all that other stuff too. No, like that's what I'm saying, man. It's about y'all. Like, we want to have a conversation that y'all realize it's based around what's going on. And you know, like I said, if you're a pundit or whatever, you can't say the shit we're saying. Like you can't. And so that's why there's no goal to be that. Like I say, we just
you in the world of the Texans.
We don't care about getting credential. Honestly, they probably wouldn't even want us to have credential.
No, trust me, our faces are known. That facial recognition shit they got. We walk up to a fucking.
If I got a credential, I'd probably be going at the buffet, you know, taking back some free food.
Hey, Hector, they're doing interviews right now. Hey, but right now, I'm checking. Yeah. I'll be in a minute. But not like
sandwich spread, man.
Like with that facial recognition, we probably can't even go into the fucking state. They might be banned from the games. Don't even know right now. Look, the game when they start letting people back in. Oh, this is South niggas. Okay, we got y'all, motherfuckers. Yeah, come this way. I'm gonna be made a fucking loop, end up back outside the fucking gate.
The special entrance.
Yeah. But like I say, babe, we go cha-cha, y'all. Man, I appreciate y'all showing up and rocking with it. Like I say, we getting back to the daily. There's little things, you know, having to be taken care of. But like I say, man, fuck with it. Support the sauce. Share the sauce. Tell a friend about it. Like I say, we back to All Sports Only Houston on this channel, so it ain't got to be no back and forth between channels. But make sure you go and subscribe to the other channel, like I say, because there will be a lot of e-content, a lot of e-sports, a lot of that coming on that channel. If you fuck with that, fuck with it. But with that being said, man, again, follow Sauce Sports on all the proper social media. Says Sauce Sports HTX on Instagram, Twitter, like the Facebook page. All the links in the description below for anything else that you may need. But with that being said, my friends, we're chunking up a deuce. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. But most of all, Jack, y'all stay saucy. Until tomorrow, man. We out.
Perfect.